Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Gold, joining you just after Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of Monday night's game against Liverpool. So as promised, I thought I'd pop on here, record a quick video, talk about what Mikel Arteta had to say, go over the key talking points, and just look ahead a little bit to that big game at Anfield. Arsenal head up there with 6 points out of 6. Can they continue that run? Can Mikel Arteta continue to get one over Jurgen Klopp like he has done in the last 2 meetings? This is going to certainly be the toughest task of the lot, considering this one would be at Anfield, where Arsenal have got a horrible record since 2012, when they won twice in 2012. Been pretty dreadful since then, and hopefully Mikel Arteta will find a way of improving that. As always, at the start of one of these videos, thank you so much for all your support, and if you're new to this, if this has just popped up and you found it, then please do hit the subscribe button, and I promise to try and keep you as updated as I can with all things Arsenal as the season progresses. So today's press conference, Mikel Arteta, safe to say, wasn't in the most talkative of moods. Not sure why, really. I mean, the thing is with Mikel, he doesn't really talk about transfers at all in terms of ingoings or outgoings. And as you'd expect, with about, 11 days to go before the transfer window, a lot of questions at the moment are about potential incomings and who, more importantly, Arsenal, well, perhaps not more importantly, but certainly very importantly at Arsenal, who might be going out. And Arteta was pressed on that quite a bit today, as always, and didn't really give too much away. Did say that Arsenal were open to doing more deals between now and the end of the window, as we kind of know. Arsenal very much in for Thomas Partey at Atletico Madrid. Husamawa as well is another key target, but I think that one's going to be more difficult, as I've said before quite a few times. Still think if they're going to get anything done between now and at the end of the window, that it's probably a lot more likely that it'll be Partey rather than Aouar that we see arrive through the door. I'll just try and find some of the quotes what Mikel Arteta had to say about it. Says, we are still open to improving our team. We are looking at different options depending on what happens with some of our players. So we are getting prepared just in case we need to do something. Not gone down too well, some of those comments. People are like, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Look, just calm down and wait and see. We've got 11 days to go. And like I've said before, I think it's going to be a very, very busy 11 days. And Mikel Arteta, he doesn't give much away in press conferences anyway, at all, as I've said before. So I wouldn't read too much in what he's had to say. Obviously, a lot of the talk at the moment is about Lucas Torreira and Thomas Partey. I've covered that on goal.com, one of my stories that's gone up today. I'll put that in the description below so you can have a read of it, just on the latest situation with Torreira and Partey. He was asked about Lucas Torreira today, and again, he sort of batted it away like a perfect opening batsman for England, saying, no, we don't have any updates on Lucas or any other player at the moment. Was asked about Jorginho. Obviously, I'm sure you've probably seen these links that came out yesterday. Sky were reporting it that Arsenal are looking at Jorginho not as a key, as like their main target, but as a potential other target if they can't get Thomas Partey, and Sky named Jorginho. Now, people I've spoken to at Chelsea aren't too sure about this, who are sort of connected with Chelsea aren't too sure about this. People certainly who whose opinions I trust, who know Chelsea very, very well, seem to think Jorginho, they spent a lot of money in to get Jorginho in. They're not going to let him go for cheap. He's started both of the games this season already, so Lampard clearly has him in mind. So they're not too sure about it, and I'm not too sure either. I'm not convinced. I think you look at Partey, you can see he absolutely improves Arsenal. He gives them a lot that they don't already have in midfield. You sort of look at Jorginho and think, hey, quite similar to Xhaka. He's not that mobile a midfielder, similar to Xhaka. Very good passer of the ball, dictates the play. Again, very similar to Xhaka. I'm not sure you put those two together, Xhaka and Torreira, and even Ceballos in the mix as well. And that's three pretty slow, immobile type midfielders. I think you need more dynamism in there. You need someone who's going to, a box-to-box type player. He's going to break forward, get in support of the attack at times. Add some dynamism to the midfield. And I don't think Jorginho does that. So I'm not convinced. And Mikel Arteta was asked about it. Obviously, as you would expect with Mikel Arteta, this was his response. Sorry, but I cannot talk about players that play for a different team. Discussing their qualities is not appropriate from my side. Arteta was asked about the fact that Jorginho was a player that Pep Guardiola wanted while Arteta was assistant manager at City. So he was asked about, what sort of qualities do you like in Jorginho? But Arteta not giving much away on that, understandably. So spoke pretty well about Nicolas Pepe, which was interesting. Pepe obviously got his first start. I wrote a story about Pepe, a little bit of a sort of feature on Pepe and where he stands going into his second full season at Arsenal. I wrote that, went live on Goal on Thursday morning after the Carabao Cup victory up at Leicester, which was Pepe's first start of the season. He's obviously been on the bench behind Willian for the 2 Premier League games, probably going to be on the bench again at Liverpool on Monday. But Mikel Arteta was asked about Pepe and what he has to do this season to really sort of nail down his starting spot. Now Willian's come in, gave some good responses, actually quite interesting. He says Nico has come a long way. We know what the club paid for him when he joined, and obviously there's extra pressure on him, but he's a player who has to adapt, different style, really good attitude. We can see developments in a lot of phases of his game. He's very settled here, liked by the boys, good character to have around, and I'm positive that we're going to see him for many years and that he can perform at a really high level consistently. I think that last bit was quite important. It's what I mentioned in my piece. It's that performing at a really high level consistently. We haven't really seen that from Pepe yet. He's had it's a first season, big move for him, new country, new language, no surprise, he didn't settle straight away. But I think now he's been here a whole year, he knows the club, he knows his teammates. You kind of want to see real consistent performances from Pepe. Now, he did that towards the end of last season. I thought he was very, very good. And you just want to see him sort of continue and build on that this season. And I thought Arteta was pretty good when he spoke about Pepe and what he wants to see from him going forward. Didn't really give anything on team news. Arsenal will be releasing a team news update at some point in the next couple of days ahead of the game against Monday. Obviously, all eyes will be on Kieran Tierney. The positive team news they gave on Tierney during the week suggested that he will be okay to play at Liverpool, which will be really, really important for Arsenal. You don't want Tierney missing for that game. He's already such an important player for Arsenal. They really don't want him to be out, given the attacking threat they're going to face from Liverpool. And I think if he does start, then you're kind of looking at a back three, possibly for the first time this season, of Tierney, Luiz and Gabriel. Maybe Rob Holding is the player to miss out. Or it could be that Tierney slots back in on the left-hand side and you got Rob Holding, Luiz and Gabriel, because we know Gabriel and Luiz both like to play on the left-hand side of the three, and Rob Holding suits the right-hand side pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see what Arteta does for the defence, but that's for another time. We've still got another couple of days going ahead for that Liverpool game, and I will put back on during the weekend to talk about it a little bit more and talk about the latest team news, give my predicted 11. I think it's just a little bit early for me to do that now, given we've still got a couple of days to go before that big game at Anfield. So thank you everyone for joining me for my press conference recap. As always, as I said at the start, I appreciate your support, and I will pop back as soon as I can to keep you as updated as I can on all things Arsenal. But as always, you can find me on Twitter at Charles_Watts. I'm on Facebook as well, and get over to goal.com to read all the latest Arsenal news. The links to my stories are also obviously posted on Twitter. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I will speak to you soon.